What is going on, everybody? It is the Full Throttle Hog, and we are here for MotoVlogger Monday. Once again, it's Monday. If this is your first time joining this MotoVlogger Monday live stream, would like to say welcome. Thank you for stopping by and checking it out. We discuss things with other motovloggers and just kind of come up with collaboration ideas. We talk about news, recent events, and things like that. So thank you for joining us. If you're watching the replay, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. But today we are going to be going over a couple things. I'll give you a rundown of how this MotoVlogger Monday is going to go. We are first going to say hello to everybody, and then we're going to get into some color grading tips and tricks for your GoPro footage. It is no surprise that GoPro, although it's a great tool to have, the color grading can be kind of a nightmare, especially if you're dealing with GoPro 4 and then a GoPro 7 and then a GoPro 9. So we're going to discuss all that. I'm going to walk you through step by step on how I personally color grade, and then we will get into some other tips and tricks. So make sure you guys are participating in the side chat, as we will check in with you there. Also, once we are done with the color grading, just so you guys can start tidying things up, we are going to open up this live stream, and I'm going to have an open invitation for you guys to come in and be on tonight's live stream. So if you're going to be interested in that, make sure you guys stay tuned, get your desktop ready, presentable, because I'll be throwing the link up there, and we'll have you guys just kind of jump in, and gals. By the way, before we get too far into it, I would like to say Happy International Women's Day. That goes out to all of you women, whether you are a hardworking stay-at-home mom or just a kick-ass woman that's working 3 jobs to chase down her dreams. Happy International Women's Day to you. Another thing, on top of that, we are going to, or I should tell you all that as much fun as it was to have the camera system shut down during these live streams, and I'd get my little Nikon notification that you all have grown accustomed to, that problem's been fixed. We no longer have to worry about that. So that is what's going to happen today. IA Hog Rider, how are you? Good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. The wife is here. Hello. But yeah, we'll do some color grading tips and tricks. We're going to talk about some news, things that are in the news right now, kind of get some clarification, some rumors, if you will. But we will then go into a Premiere Pro kind of technique. And this will apply to no matter what platform you are using, whether you're using Premiere Pro, whether you have a free program that you use to edit, all the majors, the techniques in itself are going to apply to that. So that's what we are going to do today. But DeBeard is here. I know DeBeard's he's gonna have to hold me accountable for everything, because as I said, the glitch with the camera has been fixed. Throttle down under. Hello, how are you today? So I would love to tell you that there's coffee in this mug tonight, but there is not. We had to kick it up a nickel. It's been one of those days, but hopefully that will be for a better MotoVlogger Monday experience, is what I'm thinking. But yeah, we'll be diving into Premiere Pro. But what's good? What is the weather like where you guys are all at? How are you guys doing on weather? Is it, I mean, we're almost to daylight savings time, which is very cool, which means we can get out, we can ride more, we can film more, we can create better content, because there's only so much you can do inside of your garage. You know, unless you're handy, which I am not, but that's about it. So Motoblonde, hello. Good to see you. Thank you for coming by. So yeah, let's talk. We're not going to go too much into the settings of the GoPro, minus for me to tell you that you need to film in flat profile. Throw that GoPro color mode out the window if you're going to be doing any type of color correction. It's going to be oversaturated, and I'll explain to you the things why. I mean, color grading in itself can be intimidating at first, and when I first started, I absolutely hated that process. Out of everything I did on the edit, when it came down to the color grade, that was my problem. That that I wouldn't be looking forward to it. As time grew and I got better at it, I actually started to enjoy that process. You get to kind of create a feel for your video, and it's subjective. So it's whatever you want to do and whatever you want to make your film look like, or your content look like. You get the flexibility to do that. So number one, you need to film in a flat profile in your GoPro. I'm gonna have a video coming out at a later time talking about all my GoPro settings for my motovlogs, and even when I'm just out filming, and the reasons why I do it. So we'll get into some of that as well. But it's going to be a lot of these. I wanted to create something that was basic steps. I mean, obviously you can go on YouTube and you can go to YouTube University and learn a whole bunch about color grading. A lot of it is pretty advanced, and I'm going to ease you all into it, if you don't mind. Just a nice, subtle ease into the color grading. So these are all going to be simple techniques. I'll show you the images in the film before and the images afterwards, but we're going to do it together, and then I'll show you how you can make your workflow a little faster. So that's what we're going to do. Let's see. Let's go into, so let me get this set up properly and make sure that I am sharing what I want to share with you. Let's take a look. Let me just bear with me just 1 second while I figure this out. Application window, cancel. All right, go share. Sharing that. Where is why is that doing that? I already tested this out and it was supposed to work properly. Let's see if I do this. So we're going to do that one. Okay. So we are here. We're going to go over what I'm looking at and what I'm doing together. So let me make sure that if you guys have questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and throw them in the side chat. I will be checking in from time to time so that we can take a look at that. So this is your Adobe Premiere Pro setup. You know, when you're looking at, you typically, if you're working on a project, this is what you're going to see. And you have your timeline down here, obviously your preview window. And this is from, I decided to take the footage from a GoPro 4 for you guys. So keep that in mind, that we are looking at GoPro Hero 4 silver footage. So with this is filmed in a flat profile on the Hero 4. You can see it's kind of tingy. It doesn't look all that great. If we were to play it along right now, it just doesn't look all that good, in my opinion. And so we got to fix that. So what we will do is we will go up. So once this is done here, you just find a good spot. And up here on your tabs, this is going to be different, obviously, if you're using a different editing software, but the concepts are all going to be the same. So I click up here where it says color, and it's going to open up a whole new window. Okay, so let's make sure that let's hide this. So in this window, this is your color tab. You're going to have your lumetri color adjustments that you can do over here on the right side. And this is where you're going to make all your micro adjustments. And I say micro, and I will explain all that to you. It's very, very important that you make the micro adjustments, especially when you're dealing with color. Less is more. Let's see. Expand this over here so I can see if you guys are throwing out any questions. All right. So we have this. I'm going to go over the scopes briefly and explain to you why I use those scopes, but I use Lumetri color scopes, and I have my vector scopes. If you guys are using Premiere Pro, you can go down here. I use my vector scope, my RGB parade, and then my waveform. So this is your RGB parade up here. This is my waveform, and this is my vector, my vector scope. So if you need that, you can just hit this little tool button if you are using Adobe Premiere Pro. So we can see, as I said, it's in flat. So obviously not a lot of things going on with this footage. It's not popping. And we're going to make micro adjustments. Now for me, I always start over here in my Lumetri color and I go immediately to this curves section. And again, this will be the same for no matter what program you're using. It's all going to have your RGB curves somewhere. You just might have to go to YouTube University to find it on yours. So on this side, all the way up here, these are your highlights where I'm circling. And down here, these are going to be your shadows. You can adjust everything. So what I'm looking at as far as the scopes, and before I get too deep in this, the important thing of you using these scopes and these tools over here is everybody's monitor is different. And I'm assuming that when you're doing edits, especially if it's on a laptop, not everybody's using a 4K monitor that will allow you to have all the colors pop. So what you see in your screen, I don't know if any of you have been there, but you think you got something good, it looks good, you export it, you go and upload it, and you watch it on your phone, and you're like, what the heck is this? This is terrible. So the reason that that's happening is because you're not paying attention to these scopes. This will not lie. This is going to tell you exactly what's going on. So with that in mind, I can see right now that here, just touching base, again, this is not going to be on a full color grading class. This is just to give you the simple basics, just to start just making your footage pop a little bit. But if we look right here at our waveform, if you go over and see that this is 100 and you see this is 0 down here, you don't want any of your colors to be above, or your exposure or anything to be above 100 or touching 100. And you don't want any of your shadows or blacks, because 0 is straight black. You don't want it to touch this line down here. You want to get it as close as possible, but not all the way. So that's what I'm looking at here. This is all for my exposure and my shadows and my highlights. RGB color, I'm going to be able to see right now if for some reason my white balance was off, I can change that, and I also can change the feel of it. For example, if you guys follow this channel for a while, you know that I like to do a little bit more of a cinematic style look. So I will make the image a little cooler. The way that this all reads is left to right on the image. So if you look at your preview pane on this side, it's reading from left to right. So this area right here on the right is going to be my fender, my front fender of the bike. So you obviously can see how that's dipping down towards the black. So same thing with the RGB parade. This is your reds, your greens, and your blues. You want to make sure that you're reading your image from left to right. So this area right here in the red is your entire image left to right with your reds. Same with here and same with here. If we wanted things to be, systematically perfect, you can see the greens, for example, are a little higher here. I could make the correction, and I could go like that a little bit, and I'm just going to move my tint, and I'm going to pull a little bit of that green out of there, and that will line everything up. But that's a story of another time. We're going to keep to the basics. So with this, by the way, if you guys are just joining, I'm theoretically just looking at the Adobe Premiere Pro software, so I'll be checking back in with you. But don't forget, after we do this class, we're going to talk about some rumors and some things going on in the news, and then I'm going to open up this live to all of y'all if anybody wants to come in and join. So make sure you guys are cleaning up your desktop and making it presentable if you want to come in here, and we can have ourselves a little chit chat. But so moving forward, we discussed this. Now, this vector scope is probably the most important thing you want to keep and pay attention to right up here. You'll see it looks a little overwhelming. This is going to be your exposure of your image, and that includes all your colors and your saturation and things like that right here. This little, it's not even octagon, it's the 6-sided kind of weird looking box in the middle. So that is your broadcast box. That is, you want to keep all of your colors throughout your video within this box. Anything that blows out beyond that, you're actually not going to have proper color if somebody were to throw this up on a broadcast, whether it be a television, newscast, whatever. So that's what I'm looking at here. This line is the only line you really need to pay attention to. This line that you can see coming up the top left down to the bottom right, and that is going to be your skin tone line. Okay, everybody's skin tones are going to be on the same line. It doesn't matter if you are somebody who lives in Miami and you're 100% tan or not. That skin tone line is going to be the same for everybody. So if you're dealing with a person and you want to adjust that, or their skin tone just doesn't look proper, that's pretty much what you want to take a look at. So I color grade every single one of my videos the exact same way. And hopefully by the end of this class, you guys can too. And I can help it streamline. So here we can see we're a little underexposed. Obviously, we have some more room for growth here. And also right here, we can see we're underexposed. So going back into the curves is where I start. Top right, like I said, is going to be your highlights over here. And I can actually adjust that. I can bring my highlights by clicking on this and bringing my highlights. I can bring them down. So let's say it was overexposed and I bring them down to there, right? It's going to make the adjustments for me. This will be back to neutral. Then I can go up this side and I can bring my highlights all the way back up. So I can make those adjustments on the fly there. Anytime you make a mistake, if for some reason you want to start back to normal, you just double click and it completely goes back to normal. But keeping this simplistic, the main thing that you want to do is you want to create an S curve. So what I do is I just left click my mouse right up here, usually within this box window where they intersect. I'm going to make a mark here, and then I'm going to go all the way down towards my shadows, and I'm going to make a mark here. I will go back to this first area, and I'm going to bring up my highlights to about here. And then I'm going to come down to this mark here, left click, and I'm going to bring down my shadows, just like that. Obviously, I can see that we're still a little underexposed. I'm going to go back into my basic color correction, and I'm going to be able to bring up my highlights, getting pretty close to that 100 without touching. So if you looked at this image right now by just one simplistic change, if you will, this is with that color correction made. And if I click on this, you can see that's what we had before with that flat profile. So not a whole lot going on. Nothing's really popping. And then we can apply that and we can see it brings things out a little bit. Now for me, I'm going to also bring this temperature of this blue just a little bit more, just to see if I can make that blue, like I said, the cinematic look. It's more of a cooler image. And that's what you want to kind of pay attention to. Let me see if I can make another adjustment. So again, right here, your contrast, this is all a stylistic thing. Again, this is everything that you want to do with your color correction for your GoPro footage, but the contrast, making it a little bit more cinematic. I'm going to bring that contrast up a little bit, but these are all micro adjustments. If you can see right here, my exposure, I only brought it up to 0.8. Because if you go anything above that, you're going to really start blowing out the image. I'm also keeping an eye out right here to make sure that my blacks do not go below or touch that 0 mark, because then I'm crushing those blacks. Your shadows, I'm going to bring my shadow detail down a little bit if I'm going to do more of a cinematic kind of approach. And then I'm going to see it's kind of got a little bit of a greenish tint here. So what I'll do is I will bring that out like that. Oh, that's a little too much. Like I said, micro adjustments. So looking at this image, that's before, that's what you guys were looking at. No color grading done whatsoever. And then that's what we came up with after the fact. So that is just a quick micro adjustment. Obviously with your settings and what you're doing with your GoPro, I would then go down to my creative tab here, and I would probably sharpen up my image just a little bit. Nothing really much more than 12 ever, but I'm going to sharpen up that image. And if I want to, I'm going to bring in a little vignette, just a little bit right about there. So, and that's it. So that's this is the before, And this is going to be after for that GoPro. And this is from a GoPro Hero 4 Silver. So nothing fancy. As GoPro advanced, they made better, cameras, better sensors, and the colors are a little bit different. It does become a little bit more difficult when you're doing color matching, but Premiere Pro has a way for you to do that quickly, but that's going to be a class for another time. If I look down here, I see, man, I'm really touching this area on this black. And so I probably want to change that just a little bit and bring that up a little bit so I'm not completely crushing out my blacks. But if you wanted just to have a little bit better of an image versus hitting record and then uploading it, that's what you would see. And you make these minor corrections right there. And this is what your end product would be. Me personally, stylistically, and creativity of it, I like this look a little bit better. I don't know. You guys let me know in the side chat and what you thought of that. There's going to be some more tips and tricks here in just a second, but I do want to go and check in with the side chat and see how you guys are all doing. So let's say, make sure I catch up with everybody. Like I said, DeBeard is here. MotoBlonde is here. She says that MotoBlonde said it's cold where she's at. Oh, guess what's in the mug? Win a prize. That's interesting. That's interesting. Throttle Down Under saying that it's hot where he's at. Nice. What do we have? IA Hog Rider, 64 degrees, sunny. Believe it or not, here in San Diego, it's getting ready to rain any minute. So, Two Wheels Down, hello, thank you for coming by. Oh, and so Whit Meza says we're getting fancy tonight. Hello, Whit, good to see you. Let's see. Salty and Sprinkles in the house. Is this the NASA space station? No, it is not. No, it is not. Hopefully everything that we go over tonight, you guys can test out and try, and you find it to be useful. I mean, that's the whole purpose of me doing these MotoVlogger Mondays, that we help each other out, right? So let's do that. Sensor Pendants is in the house. Don't forget, guys, anybody that's got their live streaming camera up and about, we will be having an open forum after this. I'll be inviting you guys in so we can talk about some stuff, go over some things. Let's see here. Barber CVO is in the house. Hello, Barber CVO. Thank you for coming by. And so that's what we'll be doing there. So let's go into a little bit more on these color grade corrections and some things that'll help your workflow out. So if I bring this back up and move this out of the way. So let's say you guys are enjoying that particular look, and the way that I do it and the way that I highly recommend that you all do it is you need to make a preset. So this was a remotely clear, sunny day. And if you think about it, if you make presets for every single one of your GoPro shots, and in my opinion, that would be sunrise, a completely sunny day, sunset, and then an overcast day. If you have just those 4 basic presets made to your liking for all of your GoPro cameras, it might take you a little longer at first, but let me show you what happens. So if I go into this thing here, we're going to go over here, and I delete out everything that we did, right? So as you can see, here is this footage. I'm going to cut it down so we're not wasting time. Let me just cut this out of here. We'll say there. No, that's even too much, probably. So we go here. We have another shot here. And then let's cut this out here. And we have a very shaky shot. Let's get something smoother. Right here. All right. Okay, so we have these 3 shots here, no color grade, no color correction, nothing has happened with these, and we know we want to fix it. If you make your presets properly, the best way you can fix this is by going into, I'll show you how to make the preset in just 1 second. Actually, we can do that right now. So let's say we wanted to correct this really quickly. Obviously, I have nothing going on. I will go in here. I'm going to go into my Lumetri scopes. I'm going to see what we're working with. I'm like, okay, I'm going to bring these highlights up here. I'm going to probably bring these shadows down just a little bit. I'm going to come in here, bring up my exposure, my contrast. It's looking a little bit green. I think I want to do something like that. I will go into my creative and I will go to sharpen it up right about here. And let's just say, so this is before, this is after, things pop a little bit more. There's a lot more that I would probably do with this, but that's just really, really quick. Once I have it to my liking, I would go into my effects controls here and I would see Lumetri Color. I would right click and I would go save preset. When you do that, it is going to bring this box up. You can label it anything that you want. So you can say GoPro Hero 4 Overcast, right? You can do something like that if you wanted to. You save that, and I'll show you right now what happens. So because I'm going to show you how easy this is once you make those initial adjustments, let's clear that out so we have nothing going on. Let me get rid of some of this excess here. Okay, so we have these 3 clips. We kind of showed them there's no color correction. It's all with the Hero 4, and that's what we're working with. What I would do is I'd come over here to my project window, and if you've watched some of my tips and tricks in the past, we go over adding adjustment layers. So I would add an adjustment layer. These settings would all be set up properly. I would take my adjustment layer and I'd put it over all 3 of these clips. So we've done the work in the past on a previous project, or on some Saturday night, we sat down with all the footage that we had and we made presets for what type of views that we like to see. And we have an adjustment layer. So in just a couple clicks now, we're going to be able to color grade all 3 of these. And it could have been 16 of these. It doesn't really matter. But you're going to go in here. You're going to go into these little arrows top right, go down to your effects tab. And what do you know? Right here, you're going to see presets. So I have GoPro Hero 4 on a sunny day. I'm going to click. I want you to pay attention to the screen itself. And I'm going to put it over my adjustment layer and let go. That is going to change the color grade exactly what it was for the Hero 4 Silver on all of those clips. So if I wanted to see what that adjustment looks like with it off, without the color grade, that's what we were working with. This is with the color grade. And now all footage right here has been color graded because I've already had presets made up. So don't forget to save your presets once you really find that look that you're looking for. You can always add more, but once you feel like something looks, it's just popping, it's tasty, then you definitely want to make sure that that you're doing that. Getting back into this, let's see what else is going on. So that is just a couple of quick tips on your GoPro footage that you can do to make that image pop. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. Mess around with it. It is one of those things where the more you do it, just like everything that we do when we're creating content, is the more you do it, the better it's going to go. So just take your time. There's so many videos out on YouTube on how to go through full color correction courses. It can be overwhelming, but I wanted to give you guys just a few small things that you can start off doing and change the way that your footage looks, to change the feel of the footage, and the possibilities are then endless for your upcoming video projects. Let me just check in. See if I missed anybody that's up in here. So while we have just a moment, let's kind of talk about some of the rumors. I don't know if you guys have all heard one of the biggest things I've heard this past couple days has been Full Throttle Saloon opening up a new location in Colorado. And although that rumor is true, it's a little bit different than what people think. It's not going to be exactly like Full Throttle Saloon from what I understand of it. Right now, it's going to be a distillery where they're going to make all their alcohol stuff. They're going to have some, merchandise, and it was like inside of like a pizza place or a pizza joint that they're actually going to keep going. So it will be a secondary location. It'd be cool to see, don't get me wrong, but Full Throttle Saloon, it's not going to be like another Full Throttle Saloon like they have out in Sturgis. If you guys have heard anything else, please let me know in the side chat so we can talk about that. Let's see here. Who am I missing? Who's come in and joined us today? Looking through questions. Checking it out now. So everyone. Tools down. Okay. So with GoPro footage automatically editing the video lighter or darker, does that affect it? So I guess just getting a little bit more clarification on Whit on the GoPro footage automatically editing the video lighter or darker. I guess I'm a little unclear on the question to make sure that if you make the adjustments on the GoPro footage, does it affect them? I mean, you obviously want to keep your footage exposed and shot that the way, as close as you can. You definitely don't. This is a very, very important tip. If it comes down to it, you want to make the settings of your camera. And by the way, you guys have probably already experienced this. Go through your settings every single time before you hit record, because there's nothing worse than when you had it in 120 frames per second and you needed it in 24 frames per second, and you pretty much your stuff's unusable. So I guess Whit, kind of give me a little bit more explanation or on the question, just so I answer it properly. But the tip here is that you want to adjust your settings so you underexpose your images and your video footage. The reason being is you're going to be able to pull out some of the detail if there's something underexposed, but if you're overexposed and you're automatically way above that 100 line that we were talking about, that is not going to be recoverable. So, or it won't look as nice. You can do certain things in Premiere Pro and other things to try to save that image, but there's nothing worse than an overexposed image. It's pretty rough. So, question, Two Wheels Down, does that work with the 10C Evo? Absolutely. I've done that with 10C Evo footage. And I've also talked about the 10C Evo and how I absolutely hate that footage, and color grading it is a nightmare. If you want, we can actually pull up some 10C Evo stuff here in just a second, and we can take a look at that if you want on how I would do it. But the 10C Evo footage is very, very contrasty. It's oversaturated. But the next thing that we're going to go over in Premiere Pro right now is going to be adjusting that saturation level and how that plays into that broadcast scope. Bride the Biker says, hey all, what's up, Bride the Biker? Make sure I'm not missing any questions. I know when I go back and kind of review these things, I realize how many questions I miss, and I apologize for that. A lot of times it's the wife that says, hey, you never answered the question. I'm like, hey, I didn't see it. Let's see here. I guess the question that I'm going to have is who's going to join us for the open forum. If you guys are thinking about joining, just so I know how many people are going to be coming in so we can all have ourselves a little chat, let me know if you're interested in participating in that. Such a Pendant says, it's hard to watch the comments. It sure is. It's one of those things that I try, but when you're looking, with StreamYard, I love the way that you have the control to do things and post comments, and then you're looking at banners and you're looking at comments, but you're looking over at the camera. It makes it very, very hard. Did somebody say beer? Does that mean you're drinking tonight? What do you guys got? What is everybody drinking tonight? I will tell you, we could have a game in what's in my mug. I like that. What's in my mug? Typically, it's always going to be coffee. Tonight, it is not. So, Two Wheels Down is in. Whit says she's not camera ready. Come on, Whit. I think you can do it. Two Wheels Down, I definitely would. I'm going to be posting up the link for this live here in just a few minutes. So, yeah, come in and join us. And say hello to everybody, introduce yourself. Two Wheels Down says new to the community, so everybody go check them out. To be honest, I have not checked out your channel, I don't think, but I definitely will. So anybody want to take a guess? What's in my mug before I go into saturation control? I'll be impressed. I'll actually be impressed. It's got to be not just the specific content of adult beverage or the brand, but it's got to be the mixer as well. That's what I can tell you. Two Wheels Down says rum. No, that is absolutely not tequila. There's things that I've learned in my age and through a lifetime of experience, and there are certain alcohols that my body does not agree with, and tequila is the one that it doesn't agree with. I can have one or two margaritas, maybe, but I can't tell you the last time I had a shot of tequila, and nobody wants to see that. Hi, Hog Rider says Jack and Coke. That is also incorrect. Also incorrect. Getting warmer, but incorrect. It'd actually be kind of fun if somebody gets this, because it's actually a good topic. Not a lot of people know about. Wow. Now he's digging on California. Nope, not this guy. Not this guy. Nobody wants to see it, which means if we're ever all together at any point in time, hopefully the cameras are already off, but giving me tequila is just, it's not good. It's not good. That's all I can tell you. Let's see here. Let's go in while you guys are guessing that. Keep guessing in the side comments. Let's go back into Premiere Pro real quick, because we're going to talk more about the saturation control and things of that nature. So let me bring this up. I think it's better if you guys see it full screen. Okay. Let me close out this comment so you guys can see what I'm doing here. So now we're going to bring back our scopes. Like I said, this is going to be your broadcast area. You want to make sure that you're not trusting your eyes. You're only looking at your scopes. They are telling you the truth. They are not wrong. Our eyes play tricks on us. That's the other thing when we talk about like labeling. I know I've done videos and tips and tricks on how to label your content, like giving it different colors. We can go into that just real quickly because it's kind of important. But let's say I wanted to make a new label on this, and I label it, I don't know, let's go, we need to get something kind of crazy here. That one crazy enough? Let's see. Nah. We need something crazier than that. Let's go to here. Is that? Nope. I have these kind of set up to darker because you do not want, I guess that'll do. So one of the things you have to be careful with this is if you look at these, you want to stay away from your fluorescent color, especially if you're using a long if you're doing a long project and your screen is up really, really bright. This will also mess up your eyes so that your colors, when you're looking at it, you might think that your footage is looking really good with your color correction, when ultimately when it broadcasts out, it's going to look something like that because your eyes are playing tricks on you. So make sure that you are, when you label your footage, stay away from the fluorescent stuff. All right, going into your vector scope, looking at saturation, obviously I can pull out some of these. Obviously it's a little, it's pretty green over here. I like that. I remember it being green, and I try to remember what that day and what that feeling was like when I was actually there live. And I want to make sure that even though I bumped up my saturation, I'm still staying inside of my broadcast, right? And things are going to change. Same thing here. I can see that I have a little room for saturation to bring out some of those greens, but I don't want to change that broadcast. Here, I have a little bit. I can bring it up just a tad just to make sure that you can see right here I'm clipping on that broadcast. Now, if for some reason you wanted something that's quick and you could see, hey, look, I'm clipping right here. How do I fix that? You can kind of see where in the image you are clipping by looking at these scopes left to right. We can bring back down our exposure just a little bit because we know that it's a little bit overexposed. We're kind of right there on this mark. And bring down our blacks. With our contrast, we can also bring the contrast down just a little bit, keep us kind of within that broadcasting area. And that's some adjustments you can do for your saturation. Again, then we would save that as a preset. When I'm doing a project, important to know that I am saving color grading for the second to last step that I do. So after I've created the entire flow of the project, which is important. Everybody's, you know, I call it important, but everybody has their own idea of how their workflow kind of goes, and that's fine. But for me, color grading is the second to last thing that I do, and the very last thing is going to be my titles. But I don't mess around with any of the color as I'm editing the footage. I notice that when I personally do that, I make so many mistakes that when I go back and look at the video in a whole, I'm all over the place. So I don't want to do that at all. Let's see here. Oh, look at this. The wife says she's in the kitchen. She can figure out what's in the cup. That's cheating, by the way. That's what we call cheating, or smart. I don't know which one, but let's see here. Let's go through Sex on the Beach. It is not. It is not Sex on the Beach. Yeah, it's not whatever tea that is. Nope, not. Ooh, somebody's getting MotoBlonde's getting really close. Like that's almost fire right there. Very close. Come on now, somebody's gonna get it. Very, very close, MotoBlonde. I'm impressed. 7 and 7, which is a delicious drink, but I am not having a 7 and 7. Let's go here. IA Hogrider says, anybody ever record video using teleprompter app and save recording using green screen, then add video or pics in the background? So me personally, I don't use the green screen. For me, when I see stuff that's on green screen, if you do not have it set up properly, it can be obvious that it's a green screen and kind of look elementary. Now, don't get me wrong. I've seen some really good green screen stuff. I just don't ever do green screen stuff. So I'm not the best person to ask that. I'm sorry. Two Wheels Down made me laugh. He says, strawberry White Claws in that mug. Hey, there ain't no laws when you have a White Claw. So nothing wrong with that. Hog Rider Rum and Coke. Nope, that is not. It says, does messing with your color add a lot of time to your editing, or once you have it down, is it pretty quick? So with the workflow, I almost add that into my I add that into my time on what I know up here it takes me to edit a video. And like I said, I typically save my color correction till second to last step before my titles. So I completely edit everything that I want to edit, and then I'll go back, I'll do my color correction, and then I do my titles, and it's just kind of all the flow. It does get, just like everything in your editing workflow, it goes faster. It becomes a lot of fun, to be honest with you, because you get that extra creative mindset, and you can change the feel and the flow of all your videos. And you know me, I like doing cinematic stuff, so that's where I get to get in my own head and create something out of nothing. So it does move pretty quick once you have it down. And like I said, if you make those presets, which we just kind of went over, or whichever software that you're using, I'm sure they have the ability to make presets. That will save you a ton of time. I can't even tell you. If you can do adjustment layers, do your color correction over adjustment layer, it saves you a ton of time. The Military Biker, hello, thank you for stopping by. I'm actually going to be pulling a page from your book, and I'm going to have an open forum here in just a second. So if you're available, I'm just going to invite everybody in so we can talk. It's getting kind of lonely without a guest on this show, to be honest with you. Shasi says Bloody Mary. I do love me a Bloody Mary, but that is not it. Military Biker saying hello to everybody. MotoBlonde, Captain and Ginger, You're close. The answer is no, not Captain and Ginger. But you have one of the ingredients in that's correct. So let's see. Don't forget the Military Biker this Friday is going to have Adam Sandoval on as a guest. So make sure you guys are checking that out. Our time, I want to say, I think it's 1 o'clock West Coast time. So that'll be 4 p.m. Eastern and 2 p.m. Central. Military Biker, let me know if those times sound right. But that'll be a very cool show. I'll be tuning in. I'll try to be anyway. I might be on the road, but if not, I will be listening for sure. So yeah, make sure that when it comes down to the color correction and stuff that you do, micro adjustments in the beginning, you have the ability to kind of see it before and see it after. One of the things I would recommend in the beginning when you're doing your color correction, once you get done with one of your projects, while it's in, for example, in Premiere Pro, what I would do, let me go back in here and show you all. I know that creating content and things like that takes a lot of time, right? It does take time, and you don't want to mess anything up. I totally get that. So what I would do is I would duplicate my project so that I can have one that I can just mess around with and see if I like it. Keeping one as a master, and I'll even label that as a master. In the beginning, I would almost do that for all of your videos until you get it down, because what you don't want to do is do a whole bunch of adjustments on multiple clips. Let's say if you weren't taking the idea of the adjustment layer, if you were doing multiple adjustments on multiple clips throughout your timeline, and next thing you know, you go back and you're doing a review before you export it, and it just looks like garbage. Then you have to go through every single file and delete all that stuff out of there. So make sure that you duplicate the project, and I'll show you how I do that right now. So right here, I can see, let me change the name of this real quick just so it's a little more aesthetically pleasing. Let's go. So here's this. I'll call this main project master, right? And let's say I'm done with this, and typically I'm only, because this is a class, I should probably show you guys how I do things. So I usually say sequences, and I go in here and I would change this sequence, and I would bring this sequence up into sequences so that all my sequences are just in this file folder. So here we go. I have the master. I'm going to Control C and copy that, Control V. Now I've got two of the same timelines, and I would say main project color grade, right? So I have it as a color grade. So now if I go in here, and let's say I'm making all these kind of funky, weird, I don't know, adjustments on each individual one. I go over here to this one, and the highlights are all over here. And like, I go back and I watch my footage, and there's nothing worse. You're like, hey, this looks terrible, right? What I do know, instead of me going back and figuring out everything that I did, I'm like, hey, no problem. I can go back into my master, and everything is back to normal. It'll save you a ton of time and heartache. But just remember that all these adjustments that you're making on here, less is definitely more. You do not want to overdo it. It should be almost so subtle that when you make these corrections up here and you're turning these, like I said, this is the flat profile coming straight out of the Hero 4 Silver right there. And if I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, that's not good. But such minor adjustments that you almost cannot tell the difference. And maybe there's not a lot of people that are going to tell how you color grade. That's when you know you've done a great job color grading, is the person that's watching your video has no idea that you spent the time color grading and color matching. Color matching is probably going to be a study and class for another time, because now we're talking about using GoPro footage along with, Canon footage, along with Nikon footage, and then somebody's Sony camcorder that they got from like 85. And you're going to try to make sure that all those match up. It's can be difficult. Tips and tricks. Another pro tip for all you guys is that when you are going on a group ride, make sure that Before you guys even leave, a lot of people like to help out, especially with some of the videos that you're creating. Before everybody leaves for a ride, or let's say you're going to go to an event, get everybody's camera together, put everybody in the same settings, frames per second, their shutter speed, and make sure that you're in the flat profile, because whoever's editing your footage at the very, very end is going to absolutely go crazy and bonkers when they see somebody that has GoPro Color filming in 60 frames per second, and then you have 3 cameras that are in flat at 24 frames per second. It gets difficult. So Crown and Ginger, nope. Now so you can narrow that down, you're off on both. There is no Crown and there's no Ginger in this mug. Hey, there's nothing wrong with Crown Apple though, but that's good. That's a good call. Oh, the wife says she knows. She went snooping around the kitchen. She saw what I picked up before I came in. So here's what I'm going to do right now. Anybody that would like to come in to this live stream, and let's just chat. Let's chat about experiences. If you have questions that we can go over, I would love to help you out with anything that you would have. DeBeard, I don't know if you've noticed just yet, but there has been 0 crashing from this camera, and this guy is pretty happy about it. So if you guys want to come in, I'm going to share this link with you right now. Go up here. Only thing I ask is that you guys kind of somewhat keep it clean. But there it is. Anybody that would like to come in, the link is in the description. Just jump on in here. I should probably ask the military biker, because I've never done something like this before, but how many people can you possibly have? Is there a limit? Let's see here. Is there a limit on how many people? I'm not sure. But yeah, come on in. We'll ask questions. We'll talk about some stuff and make sure that we have some good stuff. Two Wheels Down is in the house. Let's bring him in.
Hey, 1 second. Just going to flip the phone. Hi.
Hello. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. Where are you from?
I'm from Montreal, Quebec.
Montreal, Quebec. How is
Tout le monde, ça va bien? Oui, je peux parler en français.
Oh, there we go. So there's not a whole lot of A's in there then?
No. I lived in New York for 4 years, so I have a very flat accent. I don't have a Canadian accent or an American accent or any accent. When I go anywhere in the world, people just say you speak. Even when I speak in French, they're like, there's no Quebecois accent. It sounds very monotone.
So you just throw people off then. That's good.
Yeah, I go wherever I want, and I don't buck around.
Awesome. So what?
I don't want to swear on your channel if I can't. So.
It's all good. What kind of bike you riding?
I ride a boring bike, but I've been riding for 8 years. I've had 3 bikes. I've had a Honda Shadow, I've had a Suzuki C50T, and now I'm onto a Kawasaki 905. Well, a K9, a Kawasaki 9 Classic 2019. It's the first new bike I bought. I was thinking about going Harley or Indian, but I would have had to have bought secondhand. I'm a bartender / waiter, so I don't make very much cash. And I never owned something new. I wanted something new, so I bought the Kawasaki because I could afford it. And my next bike, though, I'll go into your guys' Harley.
No,
I love them. My dream bike is to eventually own either. I'm looking to either own the Springfield Dark Horse from Indian, or a Fat Boy from Harley. But,
nice.
Check it out.
Yeah, no, I mean, I like all bikes. So, I mean, I started off on a Kawasaki ZX6R. So, I mean, that's, and I've had Kawasaki, Suzuki, and this is actually my first bagger. So, yeah, all bikes, dude. I absolutely love it. What's the weather right now up there?
Well, we'll be legal to ride again. I come from Quebec. We are one of the few places in the world. I think England has it too, where we have winter tire laws for a certain set amount of time of the year. Even the rest of Canada doesn't have it, just Quebec, where it's a smart law, we'll be honest, but us bikers, we just, we want to ride.
Right.
It's from December 15th till March 15th every year. that you have to have winter tires. And unfortunately, there are winter tires for motorcycles, but they're really, really, really expensive. So I don't think people really purchase them. So it's usually meaning that the motorcycles go away and go into hibernation during that time period. But
Oh, man.
2 weeks, in 2 weeks, I'll be able to ride again. Well, 8 days, I'll be able to ride again. So I'm looking forward to them.
So it's an actual date that they set, and it's just like you have to have tires.
Yeah, you have
Interesting.
to have winter tires. So if you don't, it's a $500 ticket and 2 points off your license. So yeah, it's a big fine. So people seem to get into it. Do you want me to talk about my channel at all, or what's
Yeah, please. Yeah,
so,
absolutely. I just pulled up your channel right now,
mhm.
and I'm trying to say I'm going to tell you right now. I may or may have not seen some of the stuff, but I can tell you I definitely will. A lot of times I'll go through and obviously I
Well, you're
watch a
not
lot
going
of
to be happy
YouTube.
because you don't like Evos, so you're going to be mad that that's what I film with right now.
No.
Okay. I've been on YouTube for 5 years, but I just started doing motovlogging this past summer. I used to be mostly, if you can see behind me, I have a lot more, but I sold a lot of it. I used to do primarily whiskey, rum, and tequila reviews and booze reviews.
Ooh, I see some scotch up
Yeah,
there.
a lot of scotch, a lot of yeah. I went through a bit of a health issue last year. I won't go into too much detail, but I lost a lot of weight. There was a scare. Everything's fine now. I'm back to normal. But I decided I kind of learned my lesson, and I don't want to go through that anymore. So I'm allowed to drink. My doctor says fine, but it's my decision. I just want to keep it on a low. So I don't really want to promote alcohol too much anymore. So I started doing motorcycle reviews because not motorcycle reviews, but motorcycle vlogging because I love motorcycling and I've been doing it it's going on 9 years. It's my eighth season now, but like end of the eighth season, so it's 9 years coming up.
That's awesome.
I love it, and I just decided, I've been watching Shade Tree Surgeon forever, and I love the guy. I think he's got kind of the same sense of humor as me. I'm not saying I'm Shade Tree Surgeon, and I don't think I'll ever be him, but I've kind of got that same character where I do a lot of dad jokes that are just offensive as fuck, but I do it more self-deprecatingly than, towards people. People like understand me, and I'm just a goofy fucking guy that likes to have a good time. And I've been a bartender and a waiter my entire life, so I've just
Dude,
the attitude that we have in the restaurant industry, and I wanted to kind of bring that in. And the fun part this year, my wife just finished her motorcycle license, so she's just joining the channel. So you're gonna get like the female perspective at the same time, and she bought her Kawasaki 650S, and she's actually gonna have her first video come out this Sunday, which is her trying on different helmets, and she's all super excited and getting
so
ready.
cool.
Yeah,
Good stuff, dude. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, just having even just talking to you for a couple minutes, you'll fit right in as far as creating good content, man.
well, I'm gonna try. I got the Evo for now. As soon as I hit 2K, I promise myself I'll get a Hero 8, so you guys won't get mad about the picture quality and stuff. But again, waiter salary and COVID, because of COVID, it's a really bad salary right now. So
yeah, I bet. I can only imagine. I know. I think about it all the time. Now, when things were popping, were you at it like a what type of establishment? Is like a fancy?
I work in a fancy steakhouse style restaurant. So right now it's closed because of COVID. But in Canada, thankfully, we have checks coming in every 2 weeks that are paying us till we're allowed to get back to work. So it's enough to cover life, but it's not enough to go do stuff. But even though we can't really do anything, everything's closed. But thankfully it's enough to cover. My wife still has her job, so she's good. I should have followed her footsteps and stayed in like administrative work because they're still working in that time. But I'm lazy and I like my fucking job. I don't have to grow up, so I want to stay where I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm just open. Things are, but my restaurant's still open. We should be getting back to work within the next 2 weeks. So I'm
wow. So they're gonna have I guess I haven't been following along too much in what's going on up there. So the lockdown is much more significant than up there than
Ontario and Quebec. Yeah, the rest of Canada, I think New Brunswick and Nova Scotia and PEI and like the Maritimes, they're doing pretty good. Their COVID cases are very low and they're kind of bouncing back to normal life. Vancouver's not doing so well, but Victoria and the West Coast is doing really nice. Ontario and Quebec are really hard hit. We're like in the same kind of areas like New York and LA, because big metropolitan cities get hit hard with this stuff because we all live in close contact and stuff. So it's a little harder. But it's getting better because of the vaccine. So slowly every week we've been seeing like big numbers, and it's worldwide. It's not just Canada. Worldwide, you're seeing like 20% drops worldwide every week. So we're looking. It's looking positive. It's looking positive.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, and that's one of those things, especially doing any type of vlogging in general or content creation. I mean, I launched this channel in July, right in the, here I'm thinking I'm going to go around and see different places to eat and all the, I mean, I had just had a list of all the things that I was going to do, and it's hard. It's hard to do content when these places are shut down. And let's be honest, nobody wants to watch you go in and maybe review a restaurant when there's nobody inside and everybody's wearing a mask. It's just there's nothing appealing.
Yeah, exactly. You wanted to add, like, this summer when I was doing my rides, I was like, all I could do is pretty much, and I'm new to vlogging. So the hardest thing, I think, I don't know if you got the same thing, is concentrating on the road, the traffic around you, and then thinking of things to talk about while doing that. That's what I'm like, had to learn a lot when I first started. I was like, there'd be like a car passing by and you'd be in the middle of a thought and then like, talking, but then a car like comes by and you had to like get out of that zone and focus on what's going on around you. And then you forgot what you were talking about. It's like, oh, fuck.
No, 100%. And like, that's, what I tell people all the time, when you're going to get into it, you really got to make sure, obviously, I mean, it's a no brainer that you got to just put safety first, but because you can get caught up in your thoughts or things that you want to do while riding, and that makes it really, really dangerous. Yeah. I usually try to always have a checklist of what I'm going to be discussing, and I'll keep it on my phone, and I'll type in notes on at least bullet points. So it kind of keeps me focused, but yeah, so that I don't run into that type of issue. Real quick, let me see if I'm hoping the military biker is still here or somebody knows.
Yeah, he's from Canada too. I've been watching him. He's in Alberta, I think. He's a Scotsman though, from Alberta.
Oh yeah. Funny guy.
I'll pull out a scotch for him when he gets in.
Yeah, I think I can have multiple people with the free. It says 10 is if you pay.
You can have up to 6 with StreamYard.
6 with StreamYard. Okay, so there we go. So 6 with StreamYard.
If it fills up that I've talked and there's someone that wants to come in after, I'll drop out and let someone in.
No, we can. We'll make it work. I've actually never done just an open come on in kind of thing. I did see it on the military bikers live stream a few weeks, maybe a month ago now, where it's just it's kind of everybody just chilling and hanging out, and I really liked that type of vibe, because obviously I created this to kind of help other motovloggers, or at least MotoVlogger Monday, and so that people can talk, get different ideas, and kind of help each other out, because I didn't see anything like that out there.
Well, you could always tell, like, you got, like, I seen the numbers of your channel, but then I see how many people tune in on your lives and how many views your videos get. So it's really nice to see the percentage of subscribers to people that actually watch your content, which is beautiful. So
thank you.
Yeah, so you're doing a good job with Throttle. What's your name, by the way?
It's Ryan. Well, it's Ryan. Full Throttle Hog is the channel name. All right. And then, but yeah, my name's Ryan. So.
Well, I use a YouTube synonym. It's Swami, so it's Swami Swab, but people just call me Swami. So
Swami. So but the YouTube channel is what? Two Wheels Down.
It's 2 Wheels Down. Yeah, it used to be Malta to Montreal. So if you look Malta to Montreal or 2 Wheels Down, you'll find it either way.
Awesome. Sets or pendants. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, bud? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yep. Loud and clear.
Two Wheels Down, man. Hey, man. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'll pull out the special shit for you guys tonight here.
Oh, I think he said if the military biker came in, he would get he would pull out the real good stuff. So we'll see what happens.
I got the real good stuff right here. All right. This is Book Laddie Black Arts. It's a 26-year-old 25-year-old 1990 bottling scotch.
Wow. So I'm a Macallan fan myself. So
you're a sherry guy. Well, you'd like this. It's but it's a mystery. It's Jack Hannon that does it. So there's a lot of port casks and there's a lot of sherry casks.
Interesting. Yeah, I pretty much like all scotches, to be honest with you.
What Macallans you like, the 12 or the 18?
Well, 18 when I can afford it, I guess. 12 is manageable because it's not too expensive. I've had Macallan 25 one time, It was delicious. So I had the 25 neat at a bar in New York.
It's good stuff.
Oh yeah, I was a big fan. So Setzer,
What's up, man?
Talk to me. What's good? What's going on this week?
Man, I got up for just a minute. You were talking about color grading. I got up and came back, and then I said, man, I already missed it.
Yeah. And I mean, you could be able to catch it. I mean, just real basic, simple, quick stuff that you can just do to apply to your channel right away or your videos if you want to get into color grading. I mean, you could go through an 8-hour course and we could talk about color grading the entire time and going into all the nuances, but I just wanted something for people that are thinking about adjusting that color and creating a different look for their videos. I just wanted to give them some basic tips,
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, I've been chasing settings, man. It's been crazy. So I'm on this hitch right now where I'm trying to get all the audio on my helmet how I want it, And I've played back a couple samples, and then some of my buddies are like, "What's wrong with that?" I'm like, you don't hear that? No, I don't hear nothing. What's wrong? No, just listen. So I'm kind of a freak with that, but I got both. So I got 3 mics in my helmet, one for my Sena, one for my earpiece, and one for my blow up for talking, right? And the 2 of the mics go into the audio recorder.
Holy cow!
So yeah, I'm I really want I really want that audio to be just right, and it's not. So it's really driving me crazy. So, but that's what I've been doing that and work, man.
Well, that's the one thing. That's the one thing I really like about the Evo is the audio quality. I find the audio quality on the Evo is really nice. Picture, yes. I know you guys aren't fans of, but
no, I'm a fan. Yeah, well,
I'm a huge fan of the comms. Yeah,
100%. The comms in itself is, and not just the comms. I guess the audio quality that you can bring into your video is really clear in comparison to others that I've heard. Now I know you can set something up, and you probably can do like an H1 zoom with a lapel mic, in there. So, but I do enjoy the comms. My biggest thing, not just the image quality. I could probably deal with the oversaturation kind of stuff and the contrasty. The image stabilization is just so bad that I remember I would have to be filming and just keep my head completely still. And you want to talk about not being safe. I'd be too scared to look left and look right because it was going to ruin that image. And it could be where I had it mounted on the helmet. I'm not sure, but I just found with that GoPro, I like that image stabilization.
Yeah, the GoPro definitely, the image is a lot better on the GoPro.
Well, my friend Pierre, who rides with me, has the Hero 7 that we've been using a little bit to do like different shots, and I'll have the Evo 10 go and switch it around. Like I said, I'm into the Hero 8. I want to get it, but I want to wait till the channel at least hits 2K because I want to make sure that if I'm going to be investing in the channel, that the investment's coming back to me a little bit. I'm not trying, I don't want to be, I'm not trying to say a greed or anything like that. It's just that if I'm going to put that much money into the channel, I'm expecting something to come back a little bit, So
100%, that makes sense. So which program are you editing with?
iMovie.
iMovie?
Yeah.
Yeah, it all applies. And to be honest, the iMovie, I've seen some really good products come out from iMovie. So nothing against that at all. I honestly think some of these programs that they have available, like free download programs, I've seen some pretty amazing stuff come out of it. And even so, I mean, it's going to get the job done. Sometimes it's even faster, and it's a little easier to know that you don't have all the other crap that you have to adjust when you can just get a movie in or get some footage in, edit it, and be done with it. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, no, I'm looking forward to when I get back to work. It's supposed to be in the next 2 or 3 weeks because I really am looking forward to getting the cash flow in, and I want to get a new laptop. That's my #1 priority. The one I have right now is a 2016 MacBook, and it's starting to get a little on the shabby old side. It needs to be replaced, but
believe it or not, I just got my new laptop. I've uploaded everything to it as far as my Adobe Premiere Pro, updated all the drivers, but I literally just had a brand new laptop delivered on Friday because the Surface Pro was finally it was just too much for it. And after time, that's what happens. So it was very frustrating when you go and travel and you're trying to do edits on the road. and you just can't do it. So Setzer, what are you using? Are you using Adobe Premiere Pro?
Yeah, I'm using Premiere Pro.
Okay.
I actually have through my business, I have the whole suite of Adobe products. So I was like, it's there. I'm gonna go ahead and just tap into what I already have access to. So I didn't really like seek out. Actually, I kind of have a love-hate with Adobe as it is. So I was like, man, I didn't want to get involved in another Adobe product, but it didn't cost me anything more. So here I am.
Yeah, don't forget, for everybody that's still here, I know it's kind of dwindling down, and we were talking about some color grading stuff earlier, but come on in and join us. The MotoBlonde, I think that I know that MotoBlonde's got her setup going. Click on that link, MotoBlonde, come in and join us. Let's talk about some stuff. Get to know everybody. It's like I said, it's not something I thought I was gonna do. It's just, what? I remember when Military Biker did it, and there was a pretty good communication. I know you guys got a little political at one point, Beard. But it was still very entertaining to watch. So let me throw this link back in there so everybody can. Did it make it clickable when you guys saw it there in the?
Yeah,
I believe I clicked it. Yeah.
Okay.
Worked out fine. I put it on my Samsung. It worked perfectly.
Awesome.
So did you stay with a PC or did you get a Mac, Brian?
Oh no, I'm PC for life.
Never.
Well, PC for life minus that I love my iPhone. I'm
the opposite. It's my laptops are always Macs and my phones are always Galaxies. It's like a weird thing.
Yeah, I think it's because I just don't want to learn another platform. And years ago, I mean, we're all probably, three of us are old enough to remember, when the Apple was the and they had the green PC machine, that was like see-through, and we can even go before that. I mean, I played Oregon Trail. Okay. So, and I'm pretty sure it was on Apple floppy disk.
Yeah.
But I just didn't want to learn that new platform. I've seen and kind of touched some Apple MacBook Pros and I'm like, man, this is amazing. But everything I've got, all my hard drives, everything I've got is all for PC. So it would be a big investment for me to switch over. So I don't know.
Thanks, military. I appreciate you, man. I made it myself, dude. I have a printing company, or had one.
I saw Mezzy in the chat earlier too. I like her confidence as well. It's really nice.
Oh, yeah, Whit Meza.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So a few weeks ago,
put your thing in the chat. I'm gonna link it up and subscribe to you. I don't know if I have yet.
Did you talking to me?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
If you can put your link in the chat, I'm gonna subscribe to you after the show.
All right, let's see.
Yeah, there you go. Make them work for it. I like it. I like it. My kind of party right there. So let's see here. Yeah, I do. And believe it or not, Setzer, what kind of camera are you using for your webcam right now? Because it does look crystal clear.
So you said that, right? And now I gotta.
Oh,
I'm working on.
You did it on purpose.
So I'm using an M50, the Canon M50, but I'm using a Sigma lens. So I'm using the 16 millimeter prime lens. Or actually, no, this one is the 50. The 50.
The nifty 50.
Yeah, I think so.
But it's
I bought all three of those. They called them the trio, right? So there was 3 Sigma lenses. They're all f1.4s, and so that's what I was like, And then so by accident, I was playing around with the different lenses, and then I was like, oh, well, this is the only one I haven't tried, And I was like, oh, this actually looks pretty damn good, so I'm gonna roll with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna change this now that we've kind of changed gears here. I got to enter real quick and get people to tell us what's going on. So what's going on this week as far as you're gonna be able to get some content?
Man, it's been beautiful weather out, man. God, it's been so nice. I hope so. You know how the whole saying, you don't wait till it's perfect, you start putting it out. I need to rework my brain here a little bit. I've been tinkering away so much that I'm like, I've been missing all the pretty weather and I've been struggling to put content out. So yeah, I'm going to. I got a couple things, a couple ideas, kind of nothing outrageous. Me and Salty, we're getting ready we're doing the Sisters ride here in not this coming weekend, but the weekend after on the 18th.
Okay.
So we're going to do the 18th, the 19th, and the 20th. There's some riding out here close to where we're at, about an hour or 2 hours away. We're renting our rooms and everything. So his crew and then our crew, it's going to be about 10 bikes, I think.
So you're
Nice.
you're up in Texas with Salty and Sprinkles.
Yeah, we're in San Antonio, so we're a little bit west of him.
Are you also Indian Challenger biker? Or what
No,
kind
I'm on a road glide.
All right.
Yeah, I always try to, I got to balance Salty out whenever I see him getting, too heavy in the Indian crowd. I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
come on back.
keep him honest just in case. But
he's been on just about probably every bike there is, though.
I do like his Indian though. I'm gonna tell you that much right now. Like if I did not have what I have,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure I would come in.
Well, especially the mods that he's getting out of it. I mean, they did like a stage 1, and I mean it's they're a lot more from what I can gather. You're getting a lot more for your dollar, right out of the gate. I mean, I bought my bike
just in suspension alone. That you're getting a lot more.
Yeah, and then the biggest, baddest mod of all. He's got remote locks for his saddlebags.
That is actually pretty cool. I actually have a very special guest tonight, just so you guys know, that has something to say.
Is it Gears and Gadgets? I saw him come into the. Oh, it's you.
You wanted to see yourself up there? You can say hello.
Hey, princess.
What's your name?
Here, you can hear.
Kitty. Oh, she can hear.
Hold that up to your.
You look like a kitty cat.
Can you hear me okay? What do you want to say?
Well, Mom put eyeliner on me.
Mom put eyeliner on you?
Yeah, so make me look like a kitty.
Yeah.
Those are your whiskers?
You say hi to everybody? What else you want to say?
Can you say subscribe?
You can. Go ahead.
No, you.
Okay. All right. Go back out to Mama. Love you. I will. She wants me to remind everybody to like and subscribe.
Yep.
Gears and Gadgets is in the house.
What's up, guys?
How are you?
Remind everybody to like and subscribe.
Oh, hold on. I'm
Gears and Gadgets.
rookie move. I left my volume up.
No.
Wow, it's really
How's
red. Can
Arizona,
you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we
Dude,
got you.
awesome.
Yeah, you lucky bastard. I miss riding in Arizona so much.
No, they did. They did.
Dude, it's awesome. Honestly, I haven't even ridden that much lately. It's been video I just put out. I was saying with all the pandemic shutdown stuff, I used to ride a ton just back and forth to work and kind of little side trips the long way home kind of thing. And this past year, it's I feel like I have barely ridden because when I was working from home most of the time, and then when I would go to the office, I actually needed my truck to, go back and forth to job sites and stuff. So I was just if I was driving or riding, I was taking the truck. It kind of sucked. So, but hopefully that changes soon.
So crazy. I just watched Gears and Gadgets a few hours ago. I was going over the Bring It Home video, a lot of the different Bring It Home videos, and I saw your video up there. Good stuff.
Cool. Yeah, that was a once in a lifetime trip for me.
Yeah, that was man. I'm so bummed I wasn't a part of that, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
So
man, I found out about that just a little bit late too. I was like, oh man, I would have rode from anywhere to go be part of that.
Yeah,
That's where I learned. I learned a lot about planning trips and not planning them too tight when you're riding a bike. Because I rode through some really gnarly weather that I would prefer not to, but kind of had to get there. And if I didn't truck through it, I would have probably missed most of the event. And so I learned a little better planning for that. So I'm actually flying out for that Texas event that's coming up in 2 months because I just can't try to even make that ride.
Texas event?
There's that Revzilla has get on at Texas Motor Speedway.
Oh, wait a minute now. I haven't heard about this. Somebody start talking. What's going on? What's the event?
So Revzilla has an event at Texas Motor Speedway. I think it's March 21st to the 23rd. And it's like a big MotoVlogger meetup kind of thing. I heard about it through Her Two Wheels YouTube channel. And that day I just booked a flight because I actually had a flight credit left over. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, I'm going. So, yeah, that should be – I'm assuming it's going to be a lot of people there. It's middle of the country. COVID stuff should be pretty much done, as far as
our governor shut that down. So
what?
Our governor, they no longer require masks.
Yeah. I see that's happening pretty much everywhere. It's kind of the same in Arizona right now, I think, too.
So for people that are, I think almost everybody that's here on the live stream probably knows about your gears and gadgets, but the people that might watch this on a review or a replay, do you want to just kind of tell them about your channel real quick?
Yeah, so I'm kind of like an all over the place YouTuber. I do a lot of stuff. A lot of people on my channel know me because of my 2018 Harley Davidson Heritage that I bought and did a bunch of content on. I've been doing YouTube for like 5 years. My channel's just now finally pushing like 20,000 subscribers. So it's been a passion project of mine of just kind of making this YouTube channel something that is more about me than kind of feeling like I'm stuck in a niche. I didn't want to just do motorcycle content because my biggest fear was that then I would start viewing motorcycles as like a job as opposed to like something that was fun. So I've just tried my best on my channel to stay diverse in a lot of the stuff that I do, which probably costs me growth, but I'm happy with where I'm at. So
it might cost you growth in the beginning, but it's going to pay dividends in the end because you're not stuck on just one single thing. Because between all the rules, it's crazy on what they say you're supposed to do and what you can't do. At the end of the day, if you make content, people are probably going to follow the person. I like people's personalities, their different perspectives, and what they bring to each one of their motovlogs. And I do watch people ask, do you watch motovlogs? Absolutely. I do it for content ideas, right? I see what everybody else is doing. I kind of see the personalities that I enjoy. Like, I'm like, man, this is, when it's lively, it's nice. Right. I like somebody that's, not fake, but I just don't want a monotone voice for the entire, bit. And, everybody's kind of got their own little personality, which I think is key. If everybody just is themselves, but like with you could go on a flight, like you said, and you can film it and your 20,000 subscribers know that it's not going to be just motorcycles. So you're still going to always get that people watching. So that's good.
Yeah. I appreciate
I never got that with YouTube. Is it? So, yeah, because I've noticed that since I kind of been switching back and forth, sometimes I do like hockey content when there's a hockey game on or something like that. Does YouTube like penalize you for shit like that? Like if you don't stick to what you're supposed to be or something like that? Because I've noticed it like sometimes I get drops in weeks when I do other content.
So this is
the box.
Go ahead, Gadgets and Gears.
So I honestly think it's just more, in a weird way, it's actually your viewers that are penalizing you in kind of a strange way because YouTube is nothing more than an algorithm. So if you have like a ton of motorcycle content and you all of a sudden post a tap dancing video, your subscribers are probably going to watch the first 3 seconds of it, then dip out of that video because they're not interested. So YouTube's just going to look at that and say, well, people aren't really interested in what this video is, and they just kind of bury it in, for things to just be gone. So when people say have a niche, this is just my understanding, and Full Throttle, you can correct me, but I think that it's just more of having that niche is just something that your viewers will reward you with longer watch time, and then YouTube will then start to promote that video more often because it thinks that it's a good video. So
that's almost dead on because they always say to niche down and create that content because the people that are watching that video. So if you did on how to install brakes on your Harley Davidson and I subscribe, be like, man, this is a phenomenal video. I knew exactly how to install brakes. I'm going to subscribe to this guy. And then the next week you're out playing baseball, just throwing a ball around with your buddies. And I'm going to immediately be like, okay, this is not motorcycle related. And I click away. Now YouTube is not just one algorithm, it's algorithms, it's plural. And they basically will run your gamut. You have to realize in the beginning, until you hit 35 videos, you're only getting presented even to 10% of your subscribers at that point. They're just testing it out. Even with notifications and things like that. I don't know if you guys have all noticed, but your notifications, the people you subscribe to, you're not getting the same response when even people that you follow, you hit the bell icon, not all their videos are pushing to you for you to watch them, right? Yeah. So it changes, and they want that content because it's a business. At the end of the day, I think Setzer and I had a conversation one night. We were talking about just it as a business. Once you create, if you're not an entertainer, you're a teacher on YouTube. That's pretty much what it comes down to. You're either entertaining people or you're a teacher. You can do both, but other than that realm, you really got to stick into, if you're the entertainer, be that character, because that character and your personality and what you like to do. And, I do stupid stuff all the time. And I'm pretty sure I've got some things I could throw up if I wanted to, that would be a laugh. But right now people be like, this has nothing to do with what people are watching for. So it's weird. At the end of the day, do what you love. That's how I look at it. Do what you love. If you like making videos, make videos about anything. You're not going to get to, Peter McKinnon level by the time that, by doing it that way, because it's oversaturated with the Neistats and the Peter McKinnons and all the others out there. But you're still going to be able to do what you love. I mean, Gears and Gadgets does a whole bunch of stuff. He's at 20,000 subscribers is a big mark. That is a huge milestone where, things are going to start getting probably a little bit more serious. Gears and Gadgets. I have to imagine that things are getting a little interesting as you hit that 20K.
Personally, so it's what's interesting, obviously I'm obviously still working a full-time job. 20,000 isn't like quit and go full-time YouTube type of stuff. But for me, 20,000 is just, my mind is like always in this world, and it can be a distraction, to be totally honest with you. But I've tried with a lot of people who tell me like, hey man, I've always wanted to do a YouTube channel. And, I just went to actually a coworker's house a couple weekends ago and like showed them like the general basics of it and stuff. And I see these people kind of like try it and then bow out and give up. And it's a tough road to hoe. And for me, I feel like 20,000 is I did it successfully to the point of like my wife can't think I'm so much of a joke anymore. Probably still a little bit, but
some money's coming in, so she's happy.
Yeah, it's just like a proof of concept, and it's not like it's certainly not like a surge of money where it's life changing, but it's a surge of money like if I was driving for Uber like 20-30 hours a week on top of my full-time job. I'm making about the same amount of money now doing this, which is a million times more fun and also has endless potential of payoff. So that was kind of how I approached it from day one, was like, I'm going to build a side gig that pays me peanuts for a long time to hopefully maybe have it pay off somewhere further down the road, as opposed to going driving for Uber, Lyft, or some other part-time gig that is capped at whatever many hours you put in as the dollars amount you get out of it. So I'm kind of there, and I'm happy with that. So
that's exactly true, because then you look at you're hitting that 20,000. What people don't realize is that it's not about Google AdSense that's going to pay anything, right? This is all about affiliate marketing. It's and it's all about actual sponsorships. When you get in, you can at any, I don't know if people realize this, and for people that are still in the side chat or you're watching the replay, you do not have to be a big name to get a sponsorship or a content sponsorship or somebody to sponsor your video. However, it makes it a lot easier if you can present as part of your business pitch that you already have a 20,000 subscriber fan base. Obviously, they know they're going to get in front of 20,000 people. And that's what I think that was kind of my direction, saying I knew that I know a lot about the Google AdSense side of things. And I learned quickly on my other YouTube channel that it's not about the Google AdSense. That is mere like maybe a dividend from a stock that I look at, all my money, I would say 90% of the money came in from affiliate marketing and sponsorships. And sponsorships, I would even say above that, not sponsorships for your day-to-day stuff, but people that want to say, hey, I want to sponsor this particular video and here's my terms and conditions. I mean, that's where you can really get rewarded for making your content.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
I have my friend Jason Maschendrum that just got Heaven Hill and got a really good deal. He's nearing 55,000 subs, so he got like a really nice deal, and they're even gonna do a barrel pick for him and everything. So
wow, yeah, that's what you got to do. I mean, if you want to be able to move, move the needle in their direction and be the sponsorships. It's not just throwing a sticker on or just posting it up. You really want to have that added value for them because it makes it a lot easier. So if you create, I've done commercials for businesses and things like that to where I have that type of an avenue because I focus on the cinematic creativity for their business plan is pretty much how I attack things, on the outside of the YouTube realm, if that makes sense. So, but yeah, just to answer Whitmeza, or not Whitmeza, excuse me. Sorry, Moto Blonde. I said Whitmeza. Moto Blonde's thing, yeah, the 35 video thing is a real thing. No matter what you may have heard, the 35 video thing is what YouTube will do because it is a business and it wants to know that when you throw a video out there, the whole concept is for people to come in and watch more content than what they clicked. So that's why they paid so much attention to the click-through rate and your watch time, because you can, as AdSense and Gears and Gadgets, I'm sure Sets or Pendants and Tools Down probably will agree with AdSense, you can get watch time credit with your AdSense if somebody comes and clicks on your video and then they realize, hey, I was going to go look at how to build a lawnmower from scratch, or they see that on the side of your video as a suggested. You got them onto the platform, then they clicked away. You still get some watch time hours from that. So it's all about the business. If you can have 35 videos, YouTube knows if they click on one of your videos, maybe somebody will go into a binge watch thing, and it's all about them making money from their advertisers as it is. I don't know.
The problem with the ads, I agree with you on the ads thing, because the problem with the AdSense thing, it seems to not want creativity. It wants repetitiveness. I'll notice like the payout. If I do like, let's say a creative video where I go out riding and I talk about a subject or something like that, even if I get like, let's say 1,000 views on that video, I'll get like $5 maybe off it. But let's say I do a video on the Rebel 1100 that came out. All right. And I just show the stupid video that Honda put out there with little clips of me talking in between. And that video gets the same amount of views. That video will make $45 to $50 for 1,000 views, comparison to the other video I made that makes $5. Like, I just don't understand the way AdSense works or what, but it seems to be like they want you to just do like advertisement content or something. Like, I don't know. It's a weird kind of thing I've noticed. It's anti-creativity.
Let me tell you, the videos that do by far the best on my channel, without fail, are the videos where I'm sitting around the house and I'm like, oh, I got to get a video. I haven't spent a while. I don't even know what I'm going to do. I come in here, fire up the camera, ramble something on for 30 minutes, cut it down to 10 minutes, throw it up, and I'll go out to the living room and tell my wife, like, man, that video ain't going to do nothing. The next day it's going bonkers. Then I'll spend
every time.
Yeah. And then I got like 6 cameras going in the garage and I got all this stuff going. It takes me hours to edit. I put it up there and it's like nothing. And it's so that is YouTube in a nutshell.
100%. I almost feel like somebody's watching some of my stuff and they're like, all right, he didn't do anything on this one. Let me just go ahead and promote the hell out of it. I 100%. I can't tell you how many times, both on this channel and my other channel, that I legitimately was like this. I walked out of the room, same kind of thing, 8-9 minute video. I'm like, hey, that's going to tank badly. And then the next thing you know, it blows up and I don't understand it. It gets so frustrating. I mean, yeah, you can see Moto Blonde. Everybody's on board. Like, you hit the nail on the head. I don't know how they do it, but they do a good job knowing that if you put a whole bunch of high production into it, they're going to be like, yeah, guess what? Here's your 100 views for the week.
Hey, you went nuts on the shorts there for a little bit there, Ryan. I was trying to look to see what kind of pattern you had, but it looked like you just blasted out a bunch of them.
So part of a T&E on what the shorts is going to be. I did that on purpose. So I've got another short coming out tomorrow. And I learned a lot in that time. If you guys are just now getting into the shorts or unfamiliar, the shorts is going to be kind of the new YouTube strategy. It is their answer to TikTok, and doing some research and finding out about the shorts and what they really want. So here's what happened with the shorts. I wanted to create a few, couple a day, just kind of throw them out there. And I legitimately studied the analytics on how those shorts, there's the short shelf itself. Once those videos hit that short shelf, I would get like overnight 1,500 views per short video. And then they fall off of the short shelf. One of the things I realized is that people that are watching shorts, and I'm still going to create them because you can cram a lot of information in 1 minute. Mm-hmm. But the people that are creating these shorts, if you have some type of crazy incident, I hate knock on wood, but a motorcycle crash, people are going to watch that short. It's going to take over and it's going to get 4.8 million views. However, you look at some of these other shorts and it's like, it's some kid, telling another kid to go run into a pole somewhere and knock himself out, and it gets 17 million views. But the whole thing is you cannot do AdSense right now. You can't monetize a short. You are pretty much doing it for the exposure to introduce them to your channel. So I took those shorts and everything that I'm doing, and I'm only going to use it as like an ad campaign for, hey, you can see the entire video over on my channel. Ironically, the one short, for some reason, that has not hit the short shelf is the one that I really wanted to, which was the Sturgis Nightlife video. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that one's been flagged along the way, that YouTube does not want that to hit a short shelf, because even if I go to my channel from my phone, I can see it. But if I click on any of the other shorts, all the others will play in sequential order, but that one. And I know that I haven't been dinged. I know it didn't go outside of the policy. And I know I haven't been flagged on anything, but I think that they're probably just making sure that content stays good, because it is risky. I get it. It's not, I'm not gonna lie. Gears and Gadgets, have you messed around with any shorts?
So I've tossed a couple out there. I was toying with it. I'm still conflicted on if I even like the idea on YouTube, but I was kind of fearing that the way I understand it is you put a video out and you have to hashtag shorts. There was a T&E that I saw that it was on my phone for maybe a couple weeks where I could post an actual short, and then that went away. And I was researching it, and they said, if you want to do a short, you have to hashtag shorts, and that's what puts it into shorts. But then I started getting concerned. They say it doesn't affect your watch time, but I also don't totally trust YouTube in their algorithm to not have that actually be true. So when I start seeing 4-second watch times on shorts, I'm like, I'll be there when it becomes a thing. But as of right now, I'm just kind of waiting to see what other people are doing with it. And then the first handful of shorts I do will probably be just really lazy and going back to old videos where there was a snippet of good content to kind of throw it out there and kind of recycle some stuff I've already done. And then I'll probably just test the waters from there. So I'm just unsure about it.
Before it gets too late and everybody leaves us, I have to make sure I tell you what's in the mug. This is actually Jack and Mountain Dew.
Okay, thought it was White Claw.
No, Jack and Mountain Dew. Now, you being in alcohol industry, you're probably going to know this answer, but does everybody know why Mountain Dew is?
Yeah, it was the first soda drink they actually made for whiskey.
Yeah,
that is correct.
It's a mixer.
Yeah, well, and it was made, because it wasn't prohibition. It was the Coke and Pepsi. They couldn't actually advertise that to be a mixer for whiskey. So Mountain Dew made it for it. Somebody told me about it years ago, and I was like, "You're lying," because how do I not know about this? And sure enough, I tried it one time, and I was like, "Well, that is delicious." So
the gang from Always Sunny says everything that's not alkalized base is mixer. So
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
So yeah, some people were very close.
I want to thank you for having me on. Really, I'm really happy to have met all of you. Gears and Gadgets, I've been following you for quite some time. I think you've seen me on before when I was malted in Montreal. I've talked to you. Yeah. And I'll definitely go check you out, Seltzer, like right after this is over. And Throttle, you're doing really good, bro. So.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Nice
So
to meet you.
thank you for introducing me to the community. I was trying to figure out and biding my time for the past couple of months. When do I kind of put my foot in the door? Because bikers are a little different than the alcohol people. You know, you don't want to piss people off, and you're trying to.
No, we're way
I don't want to
cooler
come in all pushy.
drunks, bro. We're way cooler than that. But hey, make sure that you're plugging in and let me know what's going on with the wife's video that's coming up.
It'll be up. I'm going to start just doing one video a week for now. For the next 3 weeks, it's going to be I have a couple of motovlog videos that are left over from last year that I'm going to put up. But the actual motovlogging is going to restart probably at the end of March and the beginning of April, where we'll be on the bikes. And my wife will be joining us on the road as of June, because she still has one more test to do, Quebec law, whatever. But because of COVID, it got pushed, so she'll be joining us as of June. But other than that, it'll be myself and my friend Pierre that'll be doing most of the riding together. And we'll try to get some other people to join up with us as we go.
We will be following along for sure. I appreciate it, man.
Well, thank you guys for subscribing. Have a good night, and I'll subscribe to all the rest of you. Cheers.
See you, bud.
See ya.
Yeah, very cool. I mean, that's almost like one of those things that I want to do is have other people that we don't like. And I say we, it's funny because I go into all the other live streams that all of us do, and it's, you know, it's kind of the same. I call it. Don't take it the wrong way. I call this the Brat Pack, right? Where it's the same people, which is awesome. But then you get to see more people that you didn't know before, and that's what this is kind of all about. I've preached for a long time. The biker community is the best community out there. I still stand by that. So yeah, I think we'll go ahead and shut that down there, unless I missed a question. In the side chat, I think that we're all caught up. This went a little bit longer. Obviously, I want to do some more, you know, tips and tricks kind of stuff on both color grading and edits. If people are into that type of thing, we'll just see where it kind of goes. But
so you think that's not great then, or
no, I think
just a smidge off, man.
You remember that movie Carrie? Yeah, you got it down. I'm pretty sure that's what was that. Wasn't that like Roger Hedgecock? Was that a Roger Hedgecock Carrie? Something like that. I mean, but that was pretty close. But yeah, very, very cool. Enjoyed the live stream tonight. I don't know if it's the jack or if it's just that it was a really good stream. But thank you guys for participating and jumping in.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for letting me on.
All right, guys. Catch you on the next one.
Later.
Yeah.
Take care, everybody in the side chat. Thank you, MotoVlogger. Thanks for coming in.